Hello, I am Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express, and you are watching Hashtag Truth with Scott Larson.
Watch it all fall down around you now. Was it ever really worth it? Having your kingdom crumble to the ground? Because you never had the courage. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up.
Have you heard from Zuri? She's supposed to be getting her tickets.
I have our tickets.
No, our Cash Pop tickets. Your numbers are 1 through 5, Zuri's are 6 through 10, and mine are 11 to 15. We're a guaranteed win.
And when Zuri wins, we all win.
Backstage passes?
You for real?
Yep.
Pick as many numbers between 1 and 15 as you like. If we draw your number, you win. Yeah, you heard that right. Cash Pop. It's the light of the party.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hashtag Truth. Tonight we have the one, the only, the Freak Show, Danny Darko. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah, I'm all right. Thanks for that awesome introduction.
That's the way I do around here, man. That's the way I do. Now, let's start off with the easy questions, and then, as the show progresses, we might get into something a little bit tougher, but how did you get started in the wrestling business, sir? Tell us how early it was. Did you watch wrestling as a kid, or what happened that got you involved in this?
I guess we got to start at the beginning to really make any sense. I've been watching wrestling since I was a little kid, like everybody else. I think the first time I ever watched wrestling was Shawn Michaels, right when he kicked Marge through the window.
Okay.
And then we started wrestling in the backyards, little kids. I was trying to jump off the goddamn fence, excuse my language, using elbow drops. And if the technology acts funny on this, it's probably my fault. You'll have to excuse me, folks. But, it went on from there. I grew up in right outside of Philadelphia in the late 90s. Moved to Florida in about 97, and I lucked out, and a school opened across from me in Daytona Beach in about 2016, and I started training with some guys that had graduated from the 3D Academy. Okay.
So about 2016 is when it all started for you.
As far as professional, yeah.
Okay. So what was your first match like, man? When you came through the curtain after you got the basics down and you're ready to go in? Tell me how nervous you were and how it felt the first time you went through the curtain.
My first match, I puked. I was standing outside in the parking lot trying to get ready, and I threw up. And
you gave a real freak show.
Yeah, well, a little. And then Dante Marquise Carter, which is who I was facing, came out and kind of chilled me out, smacked me in the face a couple times, and it was go time. Okay. And this is a guy who wrestles for AEW. He wrestles for WWE. He was actually the Ninja when they were doing a little spot a couple years ago, if you remember correctly.
Right.
Really good dude. Awesome. I learned a lot from wrestling. I really learned probably more from him I did from my coaches.
Okay, I got you. So what? I mean, you've got the name Freak Show. All right, we've got to get into that. The Freak Show. You come off now. I got to show you something, and in honor of you coming on, and it's been a little while since Hashtag has been on. I went ahead and did this because let's go ahead and do this right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he used that picture.
Oh yeah, I used that.
There's a story behind that picture.
Okay, we love stories. Tell me the story behind the picture.
Okay, so I have a detached retina on my left side.
Okay.
I can't see in this eye at all. That eye patch is legit.
Okay. And how did that happen?
I'm not going to name drop them because they don't deserve it. But a couple of my coaches decided to go really overzealous one night because of some licensing issues. And they went ham on the back of my head with a kendo stick, and it was not worked at all.
Oh.
Yeah. So my left eye, I have a detached retina. And when it happened, about a week later, I was I was in the ring wrestling a hardcore match with an eye patch.
So you legitimately can't see out of your left eye.
No, this eye right here has a detached retina. I'm trying to do something about it, but as you know, surgery is very expensive.
No joke, no joke. I understand that. Sean Duffy said hello and good afternoon from Fallen, Nevada.
That name sounds very familiar to me.
Sean Duffy, you should know that name.
No, I know that name. I do. I just,
he's also known as Ted
too many headshots.
Ted E. Bear. You know him very well. We're going to talk about the E-Feds later on in the show. Trust me, we're going to get to that. But like I said, I want to go over, how did you get the name Freak Show? How did you come up with the Freak Show gimmick?
Well, I had a couple butt heads that wanted to throw around that I was a freak because of the music I listened to, and I was in the face paint, and I'm a fan of Twisted and ICP and stuff like that. So they kept throwing it around, like trying to, I don't know, tear me down. So the way I do things is everything I do in wrestling has a reason behind it. You want to call me a freak? I'll show you a freak. So I took that name, I ran with it, and it became its own thing.
I got you. So what do you do in the ring that makes you a freak, dude? Tell me some of the things you've done, like, maybe in a hardcore match or a death match or something like that.
Since all that happened, I kind of bulked up, and I'm a big boy, but yet I'm still doing some kind of risque things in the ring. Recently, I had a death match. It was at maybe like 6-8 months ago in Daytona, and my finisher is a cannonball.
Okay.
I call it an MDK cannonball in honor of Nick Gage because I'm a fan of Nick Gage. And we had one guy, he was leaning up against the outside ring post because I stuck him there. And we had another guy that was just kind of sitting on the ground, kind of dazed. So I did a flip off his leg into the other guy and squashed him into the corner. Yeah, they liked that one. That's definitely on the highlight reel.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You were telling me about that. We're going to have to get that. You're going to have to send that to me so I can put it up on my page, man. Cause I definitely want to see some of those.
I'm going through a lot of my highlight reels recently because I've just started to finally get some of my content available to me. Because for the longest time, I had a lot of stuff that was locked behind GoWrestle.com, which is where I was wrestling at in Daytona, and it's all behind a paywall. And unless I pay money, I can't get the stuff.
I got you. But you should always have the originals, man. Why wouldn't you have the originals to begin with? I mean,
because that's the way the owner did things. Sometimes you get with people in this business and it seems like they got your best interest at heart, and then you find out that's not really the case. You got to be careful in this business. There's a lot of snakes.
Now you did say before you came on the show, you're going to talk nothing but the hashtag truth. You're going to pop some things out here, man. So, we got William Melton that said, hello, what's up, Scott Larson? What's going on, William? Welcome to hashtag truth. We are talking to the Freak Show, Danny Darko, right now. And, you said you were going to talk to hashtag truth. Now, do you find that a lot in wrestling? Do you find that, a lot of these promoters out there are all about themselves, just making the money, don't really care about the wrestlers, or is it just a few and far between?
It's a mix. I know some really, really good people that I've met in this business. I have a lot of I'm friends with 99.9% of the roster that I trained with. It's just the couple pricks that were all about themselves, that like to make themselves the world champion because of the promoter, Kyle Blizzard. I want to do at least once. That's all he's going to get. It kind of looks like a Wish version of Glenn Danzig.
Not afraid to name drop.
He got really mad one day. We were coming out of the school, and there was this kid, there's a little fan, and he thought I was the Undertaker. At the time, I still had long black hair.
Right.
And they thought he was Bret Hart, even though he's taller than me. And he didn't like that too much.
He got mad because people thought he was Bret the Hitman Hart. My goodness, I would have ate that up, bro.
Oh, I definitely was not, man. I'm like, thank you. I'll be Taker, yes, sir.
Peace, kid.
You know what? It makes me a little jealous because my son can do the whole eye flip and I can't, but I'm the wrestler. That's not even
with
right.
the damaged left eye, that would probably be really hard to do anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I can't, like, just doing promos. I have to be really careful about the way I look at the camera.
Okay,
Just because I can't focus this eye.
Does certain light hurt you or
no? There's no pain. It's just like I have no peripheral vision on this side. So normally a worker would kind of use that to see what's going on, but I can't do that.
Dolly Vine says, Danny Darko, my bro.
What's up, little sis? Like normally you would just use your peripheral to see, the guys coming up behind you. I can't do that. I've got to cover my whole freaking head, and it makes wrestling so much more difficult. I almost had to train myself again how to do this without getting hurt.
So you, wow, without any peripheral on this side, anything that comes from this side, you legitimately have to turn your head all the way around. Wow,
and I've somehow managed to still be able to be safe even with this messed up eye. It's I don't know, I guess I'm lucky.
Right. Now, I have to make a disclaimer out there, ladies and gentlemen. I said that our show would be shown on Pro Slam University, but apparently we're having some kind of problem getting the show to Pro Slam. It kept rejecting it back to StreamYard. So I'm going to get up with the owner of Pro Slam, and we're going to have that all hashed out so #Truth can be a part of Pro Slam University. But I had to take it down, and now everything's working fine. So we did find out what the problem was. That's why we're a little late tonight. Danny was going nuts, going, man, why does my phone keep blacking out? And
it never does this on any other podcast. I have no idea why, and I don't really have the time to figure it out right now because we got to go.
Right, without a doubt.
Now, Timmy Lee, I apologize when you do finally see this.
Right, no, and I do too, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
We'll get it all situated. You know how technology can be kind of funky sometimes.
Without a doubt. Now, we're going to do a quick commercial right here, and then on the other side of that commercial, we're going to talk a little bit about e-feds and about promos and things like that and how it pertains to wrestling and how the e-feds are a good thing for some wrestlers to go in and practice their promos. So let's go ahead and do that. But what? We got Ankin in saying, my homie. Anakin
Hunter. That's my little boy. I love that dude. He's crazy, though. You got to watch him.
All right, we're going to hit this quick commercial from Retro Toys and Collectibles, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the e-feds and things like that, and Danny and us and all of us doing it. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial.
This is 4-Foot Batman. And 4-Foot Batman knows the home of great collectibles at awesome prices. Retro Toys and Collectibles. Movie memorabilia. Magic the Gathering cards. Wrestling figures, Hot Wheels, the always popular Funko Pops, and much, much more. He knows the Hall of Collectibles is located in downtown Cherryville, North Carolina, at 400 East Main Street. Give them a call today, 980-989-5181. Retro Toys and Collectibles, the heavyweight champion in collecting.
Retro Toys and Collectibles right there in Cherryville. Mr. Cotton runs the store. Go in and tell him #True sent you. As a matter of fact, Mr. Cotton was at a place the other day, and a friend of mine was talking to me on Facebook, and he showed up at his restaurant, and I got to say hi again to Mr. Cotton. So, Mr. Cotton, you got a great store. If you want anything, if you collect anything, and I mean anything, games, cards, movie memorabilia, anything, go see him at Retro Toys and Collectibles.
I could use a few more titles.
Oh, yeah, man. So I got to ask you a very serious question, sir. Now, you do a thing along with me and along with a lot of others, probably a few watching right now, called the E-Feds, where we do like promo battles and things like that. What would you say to those people out there? Because you're a wrestler and you also do this. What do you say to those people out there that say most of the people that do these promo leagues or e-feds are wannabe wrestlers? What do you say about that?
they should probably like shut up and stop yelling at the clouds. It's 2023. This ain't 1985.
Okay.
Not everybody can do what we do. Some guys cannot physically get in the ring. I know some guys in here that have lots of physical problems and they actually have talent. These guys could go on to do broadcasting later on. They could end up doing some voice acting. You never know. So I don't understand the reason for all the hate.
Right. I got you.
I'm one
of them. I'm overweight. I can't even get in the ring. But you know, I love
and I think you're very good. I've seen your promos. The brain stuff is awesome.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun doing it. And it also you had mentioned on another show that, you know, it helps wrestlers who do this. It keeps them in practice. It keeps them, you know, it keeps their mind going, thinking promo.
That's the only reason I do this is basically practice. My experience is probably different than there are other wrestlers in here. There are some major guys in EFED. I met Zach Monstar through EFED.
Right.
Zach Monstar is a guy that I've always kind of looked up to. He's inspired me over the years. Sometimes some people might call me a Stan. Yeah, shut up. But my experience is a little different. I started EFED the same week I started training.
Oh, wow.
So same time, everything. And I would use it as a place to practice when I wasn't doing promos for class. And I just kept getting better. When I would show up to class, my coach was like, "You're doing a promo today." Well, I don't feel like, "Oh, no, you're doing a promo today." Because he liked what I did. So it's like every single show I was doing promos. Most guys, when they first start doing this, they're not doing promos every single match. It's not going to happen.
Right. I got you. Fiona Finn said Danny Darko with a big heart.
And I've been around some of the biggest EFEDs there are. I started with PWA with guys like Chad Bartlett. They used to be in the Brotherhood, and now he used to wrestle for the School of Morton.
Right.
And I know now he wrestles for, I believe it's called Urban Pro Wrestling down in Tennessee.
There you go. Dwight
Very
Polk
good guy, though. They call him the Loaded Gun.
There you go. Dwight Polk said, I always done my promos at the drop of a hat, depending on the match that I was in or coming up.
Same.
Now, I have to ask, because there are some people out there that do this. There are some people that just aren't good at coming up with a promo right off the hip. They just can't, you know, they got to practice it or they got to write it down like a rapper does, you know, with a rap song. They write it down. What do you think about some of the guys who you see out there doing promos who you can tell they're reading a script?
I don't want to be a jerk off, but if you have to write it down, you suck. I'm sorry, but like I do plan a little, but I plan it the same way I'd plan a match. The beginning, the middle, the end. That's it. Everything else is ad-lib.
That's it. That's the way I do mine. My whole thing is
I tell a story. I'm going to tell you a story the same way I'm going to tell you a story if I'm in the ring. There's no difference.
Right. That's the only difference for me. If I go outside and I do like a story, like I've done stories where, you know, I've kidnapped somebody and put a hood on. I've had my daughter out there. I put a hood on her and a thing, and it was supposed to be me capturing somebody, you know. Other than that, getting that.
That's different. You got to plan stuff like that. You can't do that off the hip.
Right. I mean, you go and grab some kid and throw a towel over their head and throw it. You're going to go to jail because somebody's going to call the cops, man.
Now, while you mention the cops, because I did have some ad-lib stuff happen one time, I think it was XWE, where I was doing a promo, and if you've seen mine, I can get a little intense. Right. My neighbor decided to call the police. Cops knocked on my door while I had the camera on. So I pulled out a flyer for the show I was on, showed them what I did. Cops love wrestling. I brought the cop into the shop.
Right.
And they loved it.
I did a promo out in my backyard one time where I had kidnapped somebody, and I took a bunch of leaves and I put them in some kind of bag like thing, and I made it look like a head, and I tied a rope around it, and I took a shovel, and during the promo I beat the crap out of this bag, and it looked like I beat the crap out of a person. And my wife came around the corner after I got done with the promo, and she goes, "Scott, if the cops don't show up in 10 minutes, I'll be shocked." My neighbors already know I do it, so they don't, they know when they hear me outside yelling, it's me doing a promo.
Oh, my know too. I know a lot of guys that they always do their promos in their house. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I mean, you can do it, but you need a set.
Right.
I was advised by Chris Silvo, who does seminars. He's a wrestler for NWA. That's what you should do if you're doing them in a house, because doing them with the plain white wall like everybody likes to do is a little boring.
Right. I mean, there's all kinds of ways you could tell a story, man. I mean, it's cool. And I will say this about regular wrestling, whether it's indies or WWE or whatever. When I see promos about a match, not vignettes, there's a huge difference between a vignette and a promo. When I see a promo, when I see guys promoing a story along, I get more involved in those stories.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that's how you get invested. I mean, I don't do shoot per se, but I do use a touch of reality when I'm doing promos.
Right.
Like recently in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, they like to do different locations, and they're doing it from Orlando. Well, I live in Orlando, so you are going to see sunny Florida every time I turn the camera on.
Right. Big Bad Brad said Danny Darko. Woo-hoo, my boy
in the house.
But yeah, it's always a good time, man. And like I said, and I usually have this, and I had it to begin the show. I'm going to change it back, but give me something to invest in. That's the punchline of hashtag.
Well, like Brad's got some balls.
Do.
This kid does promos while doing karaoke.
Right.
So like, even if you don't think he's like, I don't know, Axl Rose or whoever the newest freaking good singer is, so what? That takes balls.
Right. I've seen him.
But Brad, I'm still going to beat your ass.
At where he's karaokeing, he'll have a drink in his hand, and he'll come up and he'll promo against the other wrestlers. I think that's cool, man. The stuff, just be different.
Oh, right. Exactly. And I don't always do them in face paint. Usually, yes, I'm wearing face paint. But I usually save that for the match promo, because doing that every single time, I am not trying to spend $50 on face paint a week. Sorry.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I have all the respect in the world for any wrestler that goes under a mask or face paint. Under a mask, it gets very hot. And man, I've got a few masks over here that I use in some of my promos every once in a blue moon, but man, it gets hot underneath those things. And having face paint on, you're not only dealing with, the face paint, but it can get in your eyes. You can sweat and it runs down into your eyes. It can get in your mouth. I mean, depending on how much face you do cover.
Scott, can you still hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, because my screen froze.
Uh-oh.
It's
Big
okay.
Bad Brad said he appreciates the love, man. We appreciate you, man. Keep doing
it. No problem, sir. I actually have a little story to tell about that. You keep bringing up stuff, just gives me stories to tell. I love it.
Go ahead.
So I'm doing a promo for Smoky Mountain the other day, and I actually recorded a little time-lapse clip of me doing my face paint. Well, while I'm doing that, face paint got in my eye. So I had to wash it off, finish painting, and then go cut. Sometimes it takes a lot of dedication, and people don't seem to realize that. A lot of fans think, oh, I can just jump in there and do a drop kick. My ass.
Right. Now, you say you do your face paint out there. Have you ever put your face paint on and walked outside, forgot you had it on, and your neighbors are just looking like you're the weirdest thing in the world?
Not forgot I had it on, but I did a promo and I was chilling outside for a few minutes trying to, calm down, let the adrenaline chill out. And my neighbor looks at me going, what the I kind of scared the crap out of her.
Because again, I'm gonna. This is just one of his many looks. I'm gonna put the other back. This is one of his many looks. You can imagine seeing a guy like this walking out in the front yard, taking a break after a promo, shaking it off and getting all the adrenaline lowered down, and you just look over. You got your cup of tea over there in your yard. You look over and you see that. It's like, oh my god.
There we go. That's better.
It's got to be fun, man. It's got to be.
I mostly use the same design, but the eye design has changed, but it's always 3. I always have 3 lines. That's why there's 3s in my name, and it has a bit of symbolism to it.
Right. Zalzabar said, my brother.
God fucking almighty. What's up, bro?
Yeah, they're all coming in. I love it. Brad said Zalzabar here.
Supporters, yes. And these guys make me smile. God is from Heresy, one of my favorite groups. But if you do decide to go into Heresy, make sure you got some thick skin because that's the killing fields.
Yeah, I got you, man. I went over there the other night and mistaked one of the guys for you and said something, and you came back and went, bro, no.
That's because you went after BD30. That's my ninja, and I love you, but he will come after you with a hatchet, and I was trying to save you a little bit.
No, I got you, but I thought it was you, and that was my mistake.
It's the goatee.
Yeah, it must have been because
I got more hair than he does. He don't have shit.
Yeah, I was just, he said something about being down on his knees, and I was like, yeah, you know about being down on your knees, and you shot me a message back, that quick, going, Scott, no!
I'm like, what are you doing, bro? He's gonna kill you.
They were like, who are you? I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, like, I know you're cool with Timmy and all that, but unless you know Josh, and he was nice about it, because I saw what he said on EPED TV.
I was walking backwards at them, just saying hi, guys. That's all I'm doing.
I know. I'm like, okay, let's not I don't want Scott to die today.
There we go. Another E-Feder. David Hill said, fellas, what's up, David?
Hey, David, that is my current opponent in the triple threat for the hardcore title in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. So,
Mr.
Hi,
David
buddy.
Hill, who likes grabbing the mic. I like that. Grabs the mic and does the promos, man.
Yeah, like I don't want to bury the kid, man. Like using a karaoke mic inside is not the best idea just because of reverb.
Yeah, the reverb is kind of high, but I still like watching it.
Oh no, I like David Hill, dude. I've known David Hill for like 7 years.
I haven't known him quite that long, but I've known him for 3 or 4.
Well, I started in PWA, which is where a lot of the, I'd say the main eventers came from that are all throughout the EFED universe.
Right.
I've known him for quite a long time, and the kid's got some balls. And he's from Philadelphia, so I love that.
Right.
That is where I am originally from.
Right. And
I moved to Florida in like 96, 97.
At his job, which is totally cool. Not many people can get away with that one.
Oh, yeah. I'm also lucky. I work from home. I'm an SEO writer, which I'm not going to go into explaining what that is. Google it.
Okay. SEO
it just would take too long, and we don't have time for all that.
I got you.
They're mowing the lawn out here, I guess. How loud?
Zelzabar said, I started in PWITOFB. That's a lot of letters.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't either. That's a lot of letters, man. A lot of these guys started back when it wasn't even video promos. It was typing.
Oh, yeah. Because apparently it's been around a lot longer than I realized.
Oh, yeah.
Some of these guys have been doing this shit since AOL.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I'm like, okay, when AOL was around, I was still riding my skateboard.
Oh my God, the days of waiting for that dial tone, boy. I remember.
I'm gonna get triggered now. That's a nightmare.
Now if my computer don't fire up in like 15 seconds, I'm looking to what took so long. What's going on?
Right?
Back then, you were lucky to have internet in 10 minutes, and if your neighbor was on the telephone, you weren't getting on the internet.
And the weird thing is that I'll have workers see my promos. I'll end up getting bookings because of that.
Right.
I'm not famous. I'm not one of these guys that.
Right. Uh-oh. You froze up on me. Where'd you go, Freak Show? Am I going to lose you? Because you totally froze up. You might have went too far out of the range. There you are.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to get away from the landscapers.
I got you.
A guy will see my stuff, realize I'm a worker, and I'm getting a booking from it. I have a booking coming up in end of July for Riot Pro Wrestling in Melbourne with JDX and Zach Monstar and the Booyah Club, and that's going to be awesome.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
And my you've seen it, the picture I have with the black hockey mask.
Right.
That ended up getting me an audition recently for a paid fan film called Death Walks Among Us, which is a Halloween trilogy, also featuring Jason Voorhees in the second installment.
Oh, wow. So
and that is, I'm extremely excited. I am a huge Jason Voorhees fan.
So you actually have a chance to be Jason in the movie.
Yeah,
right?
That's got me very, very excited. When I first got into the wrestling business, I never thought that something like that could even possibly happen. Yeah, it might not be major Hollywood. I don't care. That's a dream come true.
Right? Without a doubt. Let's see if I can get one of these pictures up here real quick while we're talking.
And they're also looking for extras if anybody's in the Tampa area.
Here's a picture of there's one right there.
Yep, that's it. That picture was actually edited by Lenore Len, because I'm sure she's going to see this eventually. Hi, sis.
There you go. I mean, it's awesome, dude, that you have a chance to do something like that. I mean, he's a legend in all the movies and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I love Voorhees. I got more invested in Jason, though, when he got more – once he died and came back.
Right.
I liked him before that, but Jason Lives and Part 7, those are my favorites.
The only one that never made sense to me, I think it was 9 or 10, is when he went to space. That never made sense.
Yeah, that's when it got a little cringe.
To go chase his hatchet or whatever it was. I mean,
well, it became some kind of a trend where let's send Chucky to space. Let's send Dracula to space. Let's send Jason. God, stop sending everybody to space.
Right.
And the end of the movie ends with him crash landing to a plane that looks just like Earth. 2 teenagers making out. Oh, let's go see what that was. No, don't go see what that was.
Right. Exactly.
But that movie has some of the best kills. There's one where he takes a girl and puts her in some kind of like hydrochloric ice bath thing, and it's sick.
I never watched it because I didn't think it made it. I watched maybe the first 20 minutes of it. It just didn't make any sense to me. Why would he go to space?
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, if you watch the movie, it makes sense, but in the grand scheme of things, that movie's goofy.
Yeah, the beginning ones, like you said, there are a bunch of them where they tell the story and it's actually scary, and I like those, man. But when they get way off center like that just.
I know most people are really big into Myers. I know that he started it, but I'm sorry, Friday 13th took it and made it better.
Right.
And people hate when you say that. I don't care.
Right. That's what
Jason's a walking tank. He would fold Michael Myers in half in 5 minutes.
Now they had a movie where they fought each other, right?
No, that was Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that was Freddy versus Jason.
And Jason cut his head off at the end.
Yeah, I got
Kills him with his own glove, chops his head off. Of course, Freddy winks at the end, so just in case they want to do another one, and who knows, in like 15 years with another actor.
Right. Well, they said that they might bring out another one with the original guy.
I've heard Robert say a bunch of times that he can't physically do it anymore.
Oh, wow. I could have swore, I'm gonna have to find that. I could have swore it was like a week ago I read where he said he's gonna do one more. They're probably gonna do a lot of computer AI generated stuff.
Well, it's 2023. Pretty much everybody does that. I miss physical effects. I know that we're in 2023 and everybody wants to be more modern, and I get that. But do like a hybrid. some actual practical effects, and some, CGI. What's wrong with that?
Right. I got you. So let's wrap it back around to wrestling a little bit. And so what type of match is a match that you like wrestling when you get into the ring? Is, just a regular one-on-one? Do you like stipulations? Do you like, death matches? What is your favorite type of match to wrestle in?
That's hard. I mean, I am more of a hardcore guy, so that is kind of my flavor. And even though I do like one-on-ones, depending on the story, I like when there's a lot of threat coming at me. So if there's multiple people, or if we got light tubes flying around, I don't know, it makes my adrenaline run a little bit more, makes my heart beat a little bit faster,
I got you.
It doesn't mean I can't wrestle a regular one-on-one, because I definitely can.
Right.
But generally, that's when the fans see me, that's kind of what they expect. But also, I don't like overdoing it, because if it doesn't make sense, there's no reason for me to just do a death match the second I get here.
Right. You still got to tell a story.
Oh, yeah.
Even in a death match.
And I have one spot that I do that is a little dangerous, but people seem to like it. Doesn't matter what weapon it is, and it doesn't even matter if you're just hitting me. But I'll do 3 spots where you're going to clock the crap out of me in the head. I'm going to look up at you. I'm going to tell you hit like a bitch, and then I'm going to drop you. And every time I do it, they're like, okay, he's nuts.
Brew
Maybe a little, but I
what's
think
up,
all
Scott?
wrestlers are a little crazy.
Yeah, all wrestlers are a little crazy. I'll have to admit that. Brew Capone said, "What's up, Scott and Freak Show?"
What's up, man? I mean, just to train, you gotta be a little nuts. I'm paying somebody to punch me in my face.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying somebody to slam you around, throw you around, twist you up in knots, per se. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's got to be a little bit. I've always said it. Anybody who's been around wrestling for more than 10 minutes will say you have to have a little screw loose to be a wrestler.
Same thing with acting, though. You got to be, to want to do this and get in front of people, and everybody has a different reason why they do it. Some people want to be famous. Some people want money. I don't want none of that. I just want to perform. I want to take people out of whatever their problem is that day and just watch me be entertained a little bit. I hope you had fun. You want an autograph? You want a picture? Just ask.
Some people do it just for the adrenaline, man. I know a lot of wrestlers that have talked to me, outside of my show, and they just love the adrenaline of coming through the curtain and hearing the pop, and if they can make the crowd pop, that's
there is no better drug on this planet besides the adrenaline you get wrestling in front of a live crowd.
Right.
Especially when
I've never had that.
When I first started, I was an underdog.
Right.
I was an underdog, and I wasn't supposed to get over. I was just supposed to be a jobber, but the fans just kept screaming, Darko, kill him. And it just worked.
Brew Capone said, I see Necro do what you just said before about, dropping the guy. And he also said, got to have a lot of screws loose to do death matches. I used to ref a lot of death matches.
Oh, yeah. I've seen refs get hit with pieces of light tubes, and they weren't even my matches. A lot of people tell guys,
just one time.
A lot of people tell fans, because a lot of guys want to get in the ring, oh, take a bump. You don't need to take a bump. Go put the ring together. You'll see exactly what we're really dealing with. It's not trampoline. It's wood and metal.
Right.
And I definitely pay my dues. I've set rings up.
There's about that much padding. We'll be serious. There's about that much padding.
Yeah, there's a little. Got to have some padding. If there wasn't any padding at all, we'd be able to do like 3 matches and we'd be crippled.
Right. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. I'll tell you, if you don't understand that, go watch the old NXT matches with oh man, my mind went blank. See, that's what happens when you're on so many drugs.
It's okay. I got you, brother. Even if you don't watch NXT, go watch AEW. Go watch that match that Darby Allin and Samoa Joe had. He ripped the whole mat off and he showed all that wood.
Did it. Yeah. I was thinking of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa when they did their 3 matches back in NXT before they were called up, and they did those 3 matches against each other. 2 of the 3 matches, they literally pulled the stuff off the ring and slammed each other into the wood. And they also pulled the small mat that's outside and showed that the mat's only like this thick on the outside on the concrete.
I mean, I was bleeding in matches before I was even a wrestler. I was a referee, and I had Tony DeVito, who's a wrestler from ECW, who's one part of the Baldies. He's kind of a prick, but whatever. And he busted me wide open with the title belt. I didn't even know it was coming. Just bam. But that's part of the business. Man. If you really want to be in this, sometimes you got to take your licks.
Right.
It's not as fake as they think it is.
Right. I mean, no matter how you do it. I mean, look at all the cuts that are on top of all the scars that are up on Ric Flair's up here on his brow, man. From all the time
on his brow, and even one of my favorites, rest in peace. I know some people don't like him, but New Jack, he had scars all over the top of his head.
Oh yeah. New Jack.
I've never bladed. Man. Every time I've ever been busted open in a match, it was legit.
Yeah, New Jack was outright crazy. He'd hit you with anything. I mean, if that man got mad, the first thing he'd grab is what you're getting hit with.
After my eye got busted, I understand completely where he's coming from a little bit with that.
Right.
Because if anybody ever comes at me, shoot like that again, yeah, I'm breaking your leg.
So who was your biggest enemy? Zelzbar said, I've bladed. Yep. There's a lot of people that's done it.
I've seen him blade just in EFED promos. Zelzbar is definitely one of my blood cousins.
I don't know if I would do that, but that's going a little extreme for me. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
I've thought about it a few times, but I don't know. I'd rather make them bleed. I don't want to bleed.
Right. I mean, it would make for a really good promo, but you would have to, you'd have to be a psycho.
I've done some other stuff that shows exactly what I bring to the table without having to bleed myself. However, I have done a few face paint designs that I had blood all over my face.
Now that's cool. I mean, there are a lot of makeup artists out there that can make you look bruised, that can make you look like, you've been in a 30-round fight and didn't even put your hands up. I mean, they're that good.
Oh, yeah. And it's even harder now to paint my face because I can't see over here. So I do white. Mine's half white, half red. It's symbolism for half angel, half devil. And I do white on this side because it shows up a little bit easier. It makes it easier for me to paint.
I got you. I see down here in your picture, the one that down here with your eye patch, you didn't paint the side where your eye you can't see. You painted.
Well, I painted around it, but I couldn't paint too much because it would just kind of look goofy.
Right. I got you. So did you actually wrestled in the eye patch?
Yeah. After I got hurt, I wrestled for another 6 or 7 months before I walked away from Go Wrestle.
Oh wow!
And 2019 was probably the worst year of my life when all that happened and I had multiple concussions and couldn't see anymore. January of that year, my sister died. February of that year, my father died. And March of that year, my grandfather died. So all my biggest supporters were just gone.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that, bro, but that's...
Yeah, it happens a lot of times with wrestlers, and it always seems to happen at the worst time when I really needed them, and it happened, and probably didn't deal with that well, but I healed. I had a lot of good friends that had my back, including Josh Byers from Heresy, a lot of friends in my real life, my cousins, people like that, a lot of workers too. DMC was there for me. JDX was there for me. Even Johnny Rudo from Real Pro was there for me.
That's
and
cool,
they helped
man.
me. And I healed and came back 10 times stronger.
That's cool. So are you going to be wrestling anytime in the near future, or are you done?
Oh, no. I'm definitely nowhere near done.
Okay.
I'll retire when I can't walk no more. Like I said, I got that show for Riot Pro Wrestling in July 29th. It's going to be in Daytona Beach. I'm probably in the mall, but don't quote me on that.
Okay, I got you. I got you. You'll have to send me some of those posters, man.
Oh, almost definitely. And there's some other stuff in the works. There's AWS in North Carolina. I really want to go work with Lazarus Black.
Oh man, I would love to see you and Lazarus in a death match.
That's what everybody keeps saying, and that is how me and you met, and how I got into Smoky Mountain Wrestling in the first place. So we've got to do that.
Right, without a doubt, I'll definitely be there for that show. Whatever it takes.
Plus, I've been talking to Dump Truck. I've been talking to Matt Burns, and that's where they are is not that far away.
Right. Well, I'm right down the road from them. I'm only like a half an hour from them.
Well, it sounds like we need to put on a show.
Yeah, it does. We'll have to do that, man. That would be totally awesome. I would love to get everybody from Smoky Mountain Wrestling together and do like a promo show together. That would be really cool.
That's one of the things I think that makes that place unique is we have a lot of workers. It's not like one or two. There's like 10 or so.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot.
And
there's a lot of real wrestlers.
PSU has a lot of talent, man. Tim Lee, I've known him for a few years, and he's got a few different gimmicks. Pacemaker's a good one. It's a 80s throwback. I truthfully prefer Zodicus, but that's the freak in me. So,
Right. Zodiacus has always been a fan favorite for a lot of people.
We started our own stable, which didn't exactly go the way we wanted to because, sometimes things don't always work out, time, schedule, whatever. But we started the Dark World Order, and hey, Timmy, we need to bring that back there, brother.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that, man. That's fun. I love doing that, man. That is so cool.
Goddamn landscapers.
Don't get mad at them. They're making the yards look pretty.
Well, yeah, but it's Florida, man. Landscaping in here is a big business that they don't ever stop.
Right. I got you, man. I got you without a doubt. So you said that you would wrestle almost any match. Is there anything that a promoter has asked you to do that you were just like, no, I'm not doing that? Or have you gone to a promoter and said, hey, I want to do this? And he's like, no, I'm not going to be responsible for.
I probably should have said no a few times, but I can be a little, I get excited and I end up doing it anyway. I had a guy who wanted to German suplex me on the concrete and I just, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Nothing. Well, what could happen?
Well, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm not going to get messed up from that. I'm like, yeah, you can do that. But if you're doing that, then I'm doing my running senton off the apron and you're getting hit in the face. So it worked out for me.
Tit for tat.
Yeah. The thing about some vets, though, not all of them. There's some very good vets. But it was like, the ball's on this kid. What? Because I want to do one move and I asked your permission? Use me. Some of these workers, man, they swear they got the hardest skin in the world, but you say the wrong thing and they get real sensitive.
Now, what do you think? Now, I have a problem. There's one thing in wrestling now, in today's wrestling, that I have a real problem with, and I'm trying to deal with it, is it just seems to me like every wrestler has to win. Nobody knows how to lose anymore. What do you feel about that?
That drives me nuts because when I first started, all I did was lose. I lost, but I always lost well. And it got to a point where the fans were screaming. They had no choice but to let me start winning.
Right.
And then I won my first.
You build up, you come out to the ring looking like this, the way you look down here at the bottom of the screen, and you start, doing some wrestling moves, and you start showing that you've got the ability, and you keep going with the freak show gimmick. Eventually, somebody's going to cling on and go, "Hey, that's cool."
Oh yeah, well, the whole thing is a big part of my gimmick is adversity, and I'm going to keep fighting back. I don't care how big you are and how bad you are.
Right.
Because everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Right. Now, we have to talk about something before we go. We got 12 minutes left.
All right.
We got to talk about something. There's another Danny Darko out in the universe.
Oh God, this.
So if you
I
go
knew this
on
was going to come
YouTube,
up.
if you go on YouTube and look up Danny Darko, if that's, if you get off, finish watching this and you think you can go to YouTube and hit Danny Darko, you're going to discover there's more than one Danny Darko. And the guy that
There's
you
at
see
least
on
two
there,
that I know. Me and the guy from the United Kingdom.
right?
And I've actually never watched his stuff. I'm sure he seems good, but I don't understand the name because it just looks like a normal athlete guy.
He comes out. He doesn't. Danny. His name is Danny Darko, but he comes out as a plain dress wrestler. He just comes out in gear.
But he does do death matches, I believe.
Yes, he does do hardcore. He does do. I think they're hardcore. I don't think they're death matches. I was watching it and I didn't see. I mean, I might have not watched enough of it, but from what I saw,
I saw him doing one match where there was a lot of glass flying around, so it looks like maybe he does some death matches.
Oh, okay, maybe he does do some death matches, but I mistaked him for you, and I was like, hey, let's look over this match.
I
and you're like, dude, that ain't me. And I was like,
not me, sir. It's okay. I mean, the Freak Show is one of my nicknames, and that's what really sets me apart. So,
right. And
I recently had to get that trademark because a student that I used to train with is now with a little white bull crap T-shirt writing "Freak Show" on her shirt with a marker. You got to watch yourself out there, people. Protect your gimmick.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, especially if you start getting popular with it.
Well, also nobody spells it like me either, so.
Right. I found that out the hard way.
It's all good, brother.
I said something to you, or I sent you a message or something, and you were like, no, you got to write it this way.
Yeah, you sent me a video of him, and then you sent it to them like, no, not that way. Because there is actually a stable in EFED I'm a part of, very good friends of mine. They already had the Freak Show when I showed up that I'm pretty sure they got from American Horror Story.
Oh, I got you.
I got my idea from Twisted because they had an album called The Freak Show. Not spelled the way I use it, though.
Right.
But everybody does that in wrestling. We all borrow a little bit from popular culture, but you got to make it your own.
Right, exactly. And some people don't even know how to do that.
Nope.
Some people just outright steal a gimmick.
Oh, I've seen people trying to, it's EFED, but whatever. I saw a guy the other day trying to call himself the head of the table. I'm like, yep, I'm turning this promo off and not watching any more of this.
Oh, I've seen a few people that did that. There was a few people that did that. Yeah, without a doubt. It is what it is.
Oh, it's whatever, man. I just prefer to be original. I mean,
if you're a good promo artist, you can destroy that.
It's not like I've never done anything that isn't completely mine. I used to wear a white Slaughter to Prevail mask, which I still do sometimes because I really like the mask.
Right.
And I'm not the only person that does it. Raven Havoc used to wear it as well. I believe that was a tribute to a very good friend of his that died. So,
Well, I started off using my gimmick, the Brain, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're not Bobby the Brain.
Bobby Heenan.
You're not this mouse that wants to take over the world, and you're not this and you're not that." I'm like, dude, the only reason why I called myself the Brain was because one of my stick lines was, and I still use it, is, I always come in with a plan. So, and
see, I got what you were doing right away because when you're doing your thing, it seems very cerebral.
Right. I'm very methodical. In my promos. I'm very, I can be long-winded sometimes. Sometimes I can be very short-winded, but I get the point across.
A lot of people think, oh, Darko is just psycho. See, it's not psycho because psychos don't actually know what they're doing. Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't know. I don't want to call myself a hero, but I'm the misfit for the people that just know the society doesn't give a shit about. Someone's got to give them a place to stand up,
Right. Gary Emmett said, "What's going on, Scott Larson and Danny Darko?" What's going on, Gary?
What's up, man?
But yeah, so let me ask you a question that I ask a lot of wrestlers out there, and I love to hear the answers to this. And I've heard some really good answers to this question, and it gets a little deep. What would the Danny Darko of today Tell the Danny Darko years back that started in professional wrestling. What would you tell that Danny Darko?
Find a better school. I wish I would have went to 3D.
Now I'm going to tell you, I've never heard that answer before, but that's blatantly honest, dude. I love that. You're saying that you weren't taught
I don't want to, dude. I don't want to bury my school because they taught me a lot. It just didn't work out in the end. But like, we're not talking about like you banged me up a little bit. I can take plenty of that. I'm permanently blind unless I get like laser eye surgery.
Right.
There wasn't no reason for none of that bullshit.
Right. I mean, you say, get a different school. Was it that they didn't teach you the basics, or
no? I was making a joke. I said that because of what happened.
Okay, I got
everything else. I learned a lot from Blizzard. I learned all my basics. I learned. I really learned how to control a crowd.
Okay,
that's one thing I am very good at is working a crowd. Even in ACW, which is a backyard company. Now, a lot of people like that shit on backyard. Look, I'm not a yard tart. I am a professional wrestler that has done a little bit of backyard. However, our fans sometimes get a little too close because you're talking about a yard. Okay, there's no barricade, there's none of that. And I was fighting our world champion, and I had just beat the crap out of him with a kendo stick. I threw the stick on the ground. One of our special fans grabbed that kendo stick and beat the crap out of him with it. And I had the entire audience screaming Mikey, and because that was his name, the whole crowd was just screaming Mikey. 60 or 70, now it's only like 70 people, but you had 70 yard fans all screaming for this kid that's got some mental issues, and this is not something that he's going to experience a whole lot.
Right. I mean, that was a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, that's a fan that, is going to remember that for the rest of his life.
Of course, I did have to stop him the next time because he tried to brain our champion in the head with a chair.
Oh, snap.
Hey, man, you know how hardcore fans are. They can get into it. You got to be careful.
I got you, man. I got you without a doubt, man. So what, how'd you get kicked out? That was weird. But anyway.
That was very weird. See, technology is being very strange today.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook is just Facebook and StreamYard is just being stupid today.
Yeah, but, it happens sometimes. It also could be the Wi-Fi around here, the landscape mess with it. Who knows?
What is the strangest thing you've ever seen at a wrestling match? Maybe not something you did, but something you saw.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. So this was 2017, I believe. It was not me, but I was filming this because this is when I first started, and I was paying my dues. I was filming. I was doing security. I was doing all kinds of stuff.
Right.
And try and remember the workers' names because I don't want to be disrespectful. Her name is the Fallen Flower Kiyiko. Okay. If I'm saying the name wrong, I'm sorry, sweetheart. And my buddy DMC.
Okay.
And he got in the middle of it. I think he had cost her the match. She takes a bloody tampon and shoves it in his mouth.
Oh, man.
Well, that happened.
Oh, no. Oh, God, I'm going to get sick.
And I guess that night he earned his blood wings.
Oh, I'm going to get sick, bro. That's, oh, gosh. Oh,
yep.
Come on, man.
It's a little much.
Oh, my back was hurting before this show started. Now it's really hurting because that made me feel
I
really
believe,
uneasy.
Right, and I believe like maybe a couple months before that he had done a Tide Pod spot because that was when everybody was eating Tide Pods.
Oh, that's stupid. That was just plain stupid. But
that was fucking
stupid. The other one is gross, dude.
Yeah, that's a little nasty.
Yeah, that is totally beyond. Now, if you could tell anybody out there, if you could sum up the Freak Show in the next 2 minutes, what would you say? Sum your whole wrestling career up in 2 minutes.
I don't think that's possible.
Try.
There's a lot of things to me that if you try to figure me out, you might hurt your head. You're gonna have to go to the hospital when it's over. But I'll try.
Okay.
I'm a guy that's been through a lot of adversity in my life, and I've always fought it. Every obstacle you put in front of me, I'm going to break through that son of a bitch like Jason Voorhees chasing after his next victim.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, all those people that you can't stand, all those people that some of these workers like to talk shit to, yeah, I'm going to make them all get to their feet. And they're going to feel inspired through the rest of that month. Because I don't want you to watch my matches. I want you to feel my matches.
Oh, okay.
That's as bad as close as I can get in, a short period of time.
I got you. I like it, man. Well, our hour is up, Mr. Danny. I appreciate you coming on #Truth, man.
It was a pleasure, sir.
I would definitely like to have you back on at a later time, man. And maybe one of these days, pretty soon, we could do a whole hour on just eFeds, man. And I'd love to have you back in for that.
I could probably spend hours on eFed because I've seen some crazy shit.
Right? And we got to show the promos, though. I mean, have the show and actually show some of the promos.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. I mean, I have all my stuff saved on YouTube.
Jack said the Freak Show is the man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, I'm going to end it like this, ladies and gentlemen. His name is Danny Darko. He calls himself the Freak Show. Don't miss it, because you never know what you're going to see at one of his shows.
The Freak Show.
And that is the #Truth. Hey, guys, head on over to Peaches and Power Bombs. If you don't know who they are, look them up on Facebook. Check it out. They are going to be interviewing one of the greats in our area. So go over there, check out Peaches and Power Bombs. And for now, Scott Larson signing off on #Truth. We'll see you guys at a later day. Have a good day, Freak Show.
Later, brother.